Hi there. I want to ask you a question. I'm just wondering, is there anything in your life that you've been meaning to do that you haven't done yet? Something that you might be putting off, or some project or something that you haven't completed because it doesn't feel good enough? I want to talk a little bit today about imperfect action. And first, I just want to thank one of my mentors, Christine Kane, for introducing me to this concept, and I really paid attention because she championed it so thoroughly. And when I started to put it into play into my own life, it was like enormous stores of energy were released that had been held in because of my perfectionism. And I will admit I have a perfectionist streak. And I think that's not necessarily a bad thing for artists, because there are some times in our work where we really do need to craft something really completely and really put our all into it. And so I wouldn't define any trait as necessarily negative or positive, but it's just, how is it serving you? So I just want to ask you that question. How is this serving you by not starting on this project, or not completing it, or leaving it to the side? And only you can answer that question. And it's that kind of thing where you just need to go within yourself and get quiet and be really honest with yourself. And sometimes you have to wait for the answer to bubble up if you really want the real answer. So if there is something like that in your life, I just want to invite you to get started on it. And right now I'm modeling for you imperfect action, because perfect action might be that I have a professional camera instead of my iPhone that I'm holding with my arm here so I can talk to you. I would have better lighting because I can tell my face looks really washed out. Maybe I'd have a hair person to fix me up. Whatever. Anyway, so, you know, I want to say something too, because nature is always one of my best teachers. And when you look at the landscape, just think of, a favorite landscape of yours, and you stand out from it and you look at a distance. And I mean, I just feel like, nature, what could be more perfect than that? But if you looked closely at all the parts, you might see something dead or dying or rotting or eaten away, plants that have been eaten away by bugs. And when you see the whole, you realize it's perfection. Sometimes you can notice these little parts and think, ooh, And when we have, when we cultivate gardens, if you go to a nursery, the plants have to look all perfect. Any brown leaves are cut off. They spray the plants with shiny stuff. It's definitely sort of this human construct of what perfectionism is and what perfect is. And so I just wanted to give you that to chew on this week, and let me know your thoughts. And if there's anything that you realize that you've been sort of holding off on doing or creating because you're worried about it being perfect, I just want to invite you to go ahead and do it and go ahead and try. And so, you don't have to know exactly how to do it. I do believe that the creative energy within you needs to come out, and it's one of the biggest gifts you can give to the world. And it doesn't always come out perfectly. I'll be the first to admit that. Someone who's been a practicing artist for many years. So that's my thought for you this week, and I hope you have a beautiful week. I think I might miss my train, but I just wanted to add one little thing to what I said. So if you are inspired to get going on something that you realize you've been putting off because you're feeling too much pressure to make it perfect, or it had to be a certain way, I just want to invite you to just think of one thing that you could do to get that started. So if it's something that you don't think you even know how to do, say it was, I don't know, you wanted to try a new medium and you don't even know how to get started, maybe just do a little research or go buy the materials for that medium or whatever that is. Just find one small action that can get you moving. And you know how it is. It's like action begets action. So it's once you start doing something, you start moving and freeing that energy. And that's what I was referring to about how taking imperfect action and allowing myself to create imperfectly released a huge amount of energy within me. And one of those things is talking to you and starting this blog and all this other cool stuff.